All right, guys, welcome back to the show. TCG&Whiskey, you're back with Mark and Tom. We're going to be talking UFC 265. Pretty nice card here. We got a lot of good guys on it. We had a few drop off already, but still a lot of good guys. We're going to start off with the main event. First, let's say thank you to our sponsor, Tampa Bless, home of Team Do Good, TampaBless.com for more information on that. We got Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast, ranked number 2 right now. He's 25-7, won no contest. He's 36 years old, and he's a plus 290 dog in this fight. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Last fight, he beat Curtis Blaydes, and what a knockout that was at Curtis Blaydes. He has 20 wins by KO. He's going up against Ciryl Gane, who's ranked number 3. Undefeated guy, 9-0 in the UFC. He's a minus 380 favorite. I think that might be a little high. He's only 31 years old, last beating Volkov and Rosenstruck, and he's got 3 KOs, 3 decisions, and 3 submissions. Pretty impressive record. Plus, he's undefeated in Muay Thai, right? So, guy is serious. Tom, how do you see this one playing out? Does Derrick use his power, get the job done, or do we see Ciryl Gane just use his patience again and do what he does?
Well, first off, I want to say thanks for having me back, Marky, and good to be back. Excited for this one. Was kind of bummed that Nunes fell off, but you know what? The card's still looking pretty solid, man, so I'm excited. Derrick Lewis on one side, the American, 6'2" in height. Ciryl Gane, the Frenchman, on the other side, 6'3" in height, and he has a 2-inch reach advantage. Derrick Lewis, 25-7 overall, 16-5 in the UFC. He has a 4-fight win streak right now, with his latest over Curtis Blaydes, as you noted. On the other side, Ciryl Gane, undefeated, 9-0, UFC 6-0. He's the Muay Thai and kickboxing background, as you said. His last fight was the win over Volkov via decision in June 2021. Only 5 weeks ago, really. That's a pretty fast turnaround for Gane. Derrick Lewis on the other side, his last fight was February 2021. A little bit longer, but still this year. My pick, first off, I want to note, Derrick Lewis is at home in Houston for this.
Right.
So he's going to be not easy to put out. He's going to be fired up.
That crowd is
he's going to be ready to go
for him. They love him down there. We're going to be fired up. We're going to be fired up because that crowd's going to be going crazy. The Apex, I like the Apex, but there's nothing like the crowd. I feel it sometimes lately in the Apex. We need that crowd back.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely. When Volkov fought Derrick Lewis, Volkov really did dominate him up until the end when Volkov, in the last few seconds, decided to engage and got stopped. Gane just beat Volkov in a similar style fight, standing fight, in a decision. Although I thought that was a good fight, Gane did win. I have Gane winning by TKO round 2 here.
Oh, I like that. I like that. This is a 5-round main event. He's got round 2 TKO. I can't argue that. He's got the power too. He's a serious.
I just think he might touch him up enough.
Right.
He keeps that pace. He's kind of like
he's unbelievable.
Very athletic for that size.
He's extremely athletic for that size. I agree. Yeah. Totally agree. I think basically he has the advantage everywhere the fight goes. Ciryl, I just see him. I see more of a decision, though. I see him doing a very similar fight to how he beat Volkov and Rosenstruck. He comes in with so much speed, these guys can't catch him. Pop, like you're talking about, and then evades. And he's so good at it. I mean, we've seen him do it over and over again. It's not a fluke thing. The guy's not undefeated in 2 sports for no reason. The one problem is Lewis has the ultimate equalizer.
Oh, yeah.
He's got those hands. He's got such power. I have a hard time with the line on this one. I see Ciryl Gane as the winner in this one also. I see him going decision, just outworking him, outpointing him, just being the more athletic fighter. I see the win. I see a decision win. I have a hard time laying any cash on this one, though, guys. I can tell you that. It's too expensive. Derrick Lewis just has... he's got Francis Ngannou power. There's no question about it. Curtis Blades wakes
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Where am I? It's crazy.
I mean, that was scary. Blades looked like he was almost off on the stretcher.
Yeah, he was frozen there. Now, as far as it goes, Lewis does have a rookie card, 2017. He's very sought after. He has a huge following. I'm not a buyer at this time, but I'm not a seller at this time. I put him on a hold. I want to see how he looks in this fight because this is in both of I'm pretty sure we agree. This is really not a championship fight, even though they're making it a championship fight. Francis is the champ.
Very suspect.
Yeah, Francis is the champ, and there's no reason to strip him. He hasn't even been close to a year for him. Gane's so young, so talented. He's brand new to the card world. Panini Select. He's out there. He's affordable right now. He's got the longevity. He's got the skill set. Buy for Gane, in my opinion. All right, let's move it right along. We got another guy who's more legendary than all of them right now. We got a bantamweight fight here. Jose Aldo, ranked number 5 in the world. He's 28-7. He's only 34 years old. It's crazy to think that considering he was almost unbeatable for a long time. He's minus 115 favorite. Very little. His last fight was a win against Marlon Vera. Before that, he was on a 3-fight skid. He's going up against Pedro Munoz, who's ranked 9, 19-5, won no contest, minus 105 dog. He's 34 years old, and his last fight was a win over Jimmy Rivera. Tom, how do you see this one playing out? Legendary Jose making a return here. Another return. He's always there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jose, the Brazilian, on one side, 5'6" in height. On the other side, Pedro Munoz, the Brazilian, 5'5" in height. However, Jose holds a 5-inch reach advantage over Pedro, which could come into play here. Jose 29-7 overall, UFC 11-6. His last fight was the win over Chito Vera by decision in 2020 via unanimous decision. He's a black belt in BJ, black belt in Luta Livre. On the other side, Pedro Munoz, 19-5 in the UFC. Actually, 19-5 overall, 9-5 in the UFC with 1 no contest. And I forgot to say the 1 no contest in his overall as well. Last fight was the win over Jimmy Rivera, and that was an awesome fight. Loved that fight. Pedro comes to fight for real, and so does Jimmy. So does Jose. This is going to be good. That was in February 2021. Great fight. He's also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's a brown belt in Judo. My pick, I think this is going to be good, man. This will be a real test to see where Jose is right now going forward because, you know, time is now starting to add up in this weight division for him. So Absolutely. We'll see. I'm going to go with Aldo by decision here. I think he's going to play it a little bit more savvy skill set, maybe a little bit more savvy technique and game plan, and get the W.
Okay. Jose for the W. You know, it's really crazy. You think Brazilian, you think he's got the jiu-jitsu and submission games. Jose is a knockout artist. If we take a look, he has 17 KOs, TKOs, only 1 submission win. Just a little crazy stat because I've watched him. I grew up watching Jose, but you just think Brazilian, you think submission specialist a lot of times. Not the case here. This guy is loaded hands, loaded kicks, just super talented. I think this fight is super close on paper, but I agree. I think Jose just does enough to get it done. I think we see a war, though, because as you said, Pedro brings it. And I think we go to decision. I think Aldo gets his hand raised. We go all 3 rounds in this one. Now, Aldo is legendary. He's still fighting the top guys. I mean, it was just a couple fights ago he fought for the belt. I mean, he didn't look great in that fight, but Jan is impressive. But for a long time, he looked unbeatable in his younger years. He basically was unbeatable. I think he's a buy. I think he doesn't get as much love in the sports world, card world, as he should. And you can get his 2011 finest rookie cards for even his autos for so cheap now. And he's going to have a following. The guy is legendary. He was a champ for a long time. Now, Pedro is just printed and doesn't seem to have too large of a fan base right now. He's a talented, fun fighter. but I don't have a buy on him. I have a sell, just being he's a little older. I think it'll take him a little too long to be investable. But now let's move on. Another very good fight, difficult fight. We have a welterweight battle going on here. Michael Maverick Chiesa, ranked 5. He's 18-4. He's 33 years old, and he's plus 105. He's on a 4-fight winning streak. Fun fact about Chiesa, though, he has 0 knockouts. 0. Pretty crazy just to think he has 18 wins, no knockouts. All his wins are by decision or submission. He's going up against Vicente Luque, the silent assassin. He's ranked number 6 in the world. He's 20-7. He's a minus 125 favorite. He's only 29 years old. He's also on a 3-fight winning streak. I mean, we got 2 totally different styles here. Who imposes their will more here, Tom? What's going to happen?
Yeah, this is a great one, too, and this is another tough call. Chiesa, he's got a lot in the line here. Just, his career has really escalated outside of the ring. He's getting a lot of time as, a broadcast guy, post-fight analysis. You see him on some commercials now. I think there's a decent amount of pressure on him, and he already stated that he thinks the winner of this should be up for a belt shot. So he's probably going all in here.
Do you disagree with that? Putting it all on the line. Do you disagree with that statement, or do you think it is a belt shot?
I haven't analyzed it enough. I don't think it's an insane statement. No. Do I think guaranteed that the winner of this should get the next belt shot? I haven't looked at it enough, honestly. But he's not far off. So it's not some ludicrous statement. But it just goes to show you his mentality, what he's thinking. He's thinking about the next move. He's looking to. This fight is very important for him. That said, Chiesa, the American on one side, he's 6'1" in height. The other side, the American Vicente Luque, 5'9" in height. Chiesa, 18-4 overall, as you noted, 11-4 in the UFC. He's a purple belt in BJJ, 4 wins in a row, with the latest, the unanimous decision over Neil Magny in January 2021. We know Magny's a very tough win. If you're going to beat Magny, you got to be good. On the other side, Vicente Luque, 27-1, 20 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw. UFC 13-3. He's a brown belt in BJJ, purple belt in Luta Livre. 3 wins in a row, with the latest being round 1 sub over Tyrone Woodley in March 2021. Basically, Woodley's goodbye, and now he's off to fight Jake Paul. My pick here. This is going to be a tough fight, but I'm going to go with Luque via strikes round 3.
Can't argue that statement. I see it a little differently, but I got to see. This is another one of those matchups. It's exciting. Very different styles. I'm having a hard time seeing who imposes their will, to be honest. I feel Chiesa has a decent size advantage. It's weird how he has a size advantage and he used to fight at the smaller size, but he's still so big at a welterweight. I feel Luque, though, is much more well-rounded. I think the problem with Luque is sometimes he shows up for the gunfight, and he does not look to throttle back at all. He's exciting. He's fun to watch. I feel like he could potentially get cost. I'm leaning Chiesa right now. I got to see the weigh-in to feel a little bit more comfortable to make a full decision on this one. I'm leaning Chiesa, just size advantage. I think he's going to look to grapple a lot and just try to wear Luque out, which is possible to do. If that's one,
post your pick in the comments, man, before the fight.
Well, I'm picking Chiesa right now, but I'm not putting any kind of sprinkles on this one here.
By what?
I think it's going to be a decision. Another decision here, which is rare for me. I don't like to pick too many decisions, but I think it's going to be one of. Luque has the skills. He has the grappling skills. I think he has an advantage on the feet, but I think Chiesa is going to get him in a clinch, try to tire him out, and just maybe a little bit boring for a Luque fight. I hope not, but I think that's what Chiesa's road to victory is.
They're great matchups.
Yeah, Chiesa, though, has a rare rookie card, guys. 2012 Bloodlines. Some consider 2015 his rookie. It all depends who you ask. He's a buy. He's just starting to come into his own. As you mentioned before, he works in the booth now. He's in the right weight class now. He looks good out there. This is a real test for him, and I agree. Will certainly be in discussion for a title shot if he gets an impressive victory here. Now, I literally think just about the same for Vicente Luque. He's starting to find his groove. He looks dominating out there. He's 2019 Topps Chrome. Very easy to find still. I recommend picking one or two of them up. They're so cheap. You can get them for peanuts. He gains some traction. He possibly goes for the belt himself. Challenges Usman, and then he'll get an even bigger following. So I got to buy on both those guys. I think they're both really starting to show their skill set now. All right, let's move right along.
I just want to chime in a little bit on that. I don't think it's a ludicrous statement at all to think that could happen. But what does Leon do?
I don't know.
I mean, if they're going to leapfrog Leon, I mean, to me, that's a little bit. It's not insane, but I think it's a little out of line.
I think Leon. I mean, maybe these guys sit and wait though. Usman, if he beats Kobe, I mean, we're talking. That's a big. No, that's a big if. It's a big if. I think Kobe can win. Definitely can win. Some of the judges had him ahead, and he only got called stoppage with like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it was. Very short time. If Usman wins, he normally does defend pretty quickly. He doesn't sit around. Give him props. He definitely fights.
No, he definitely does.
I mean, maybe these guys just sit on the sidelines till Leon fights him, and then they fight. I mean, it could technically be 1 year. Say they fight. Kobe's already got the fight. Next, depending on how that fight goes, win, lose, a lot of damage, not a lot of damage, we could see Usman get right back in there and fight Leon. And then these guys just have to wait through one, maybe six. These guys wait all the time, so I don't think they leapfrog Leon, but I also don't know if I'm one of those guys and you can get the next title shot. You just sit and wait. We've seen what happens when you try to take a fight out of line. Doesn't always work out for you.
The best case.
Tony Ferguson.
The best example of that was Tony Ferguson.
Gets destroyed, never won again. He was supposed to fight 6, 7. Yeah, that was just crazy.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I totally agree. And I like Leon. I think Leon has a fair shot too. I actually think Leon's a really bad matchup for Kobe Covington too. So, I mean, either or. It'll be good. It'll be very good.
I mean, we could talk more about who I think could end up matching up with Kobe if he wins, but it's starting to get into a little bit too much
too off topic.
Hypotheticals.
Yeah, all right. We'll cut right there then. We'll move it right on because this next fight's not my favorite fight on the card, but it's still not a bad fight. We have a strawweight bout. We got Tiny Tornado, Tasha Torres. She's ranked number 10. She's 11-5. She's a minus 135 favorite. She's 31 years old, and she's on a 2-fight winning streak. All her losses ever are to top 5 opponents, though. It's like Whaley, Rose, Joanna, Andrade. So this girl's fighting the best of the best. She's going up against Angela Overkill Hill, who's currently ranked number 12, 13-9. She's plus 115. She's 36 years old. And she last beat Ashley Yoder in her last one. Lost 2 before that. She loves to fight, but it seems fighting doesn't love her with her record and age. But we talk about her a lot, that's for sure. So how do you see this one going here? Does Tiny Tornado do a little spin and take out the Overkill, or does Overkill move up the rankings, break the top 10? She breaks into the top 10 with this one.
Hey, I actually think this is a fun fight. I like this matchup, actually. I think it's going to be good. Tasha Torres is the American on one side, 5'1" in height. Angela Hill, the American on the other, 5'2" in height, and Angela Hill has a 4-inch reach advantage. Tasha Torres has quite a skill set. Black belt in karate, black belt in Junri Taekwondo, blue belt in BJJ. So quite a few accolades for Miss Torres here. She actually beat Angela Hill by decision back in June 2015. So this will be the second time they fight. On the other side, oh, by the way, her last fight was the win over Sam Hughes by TKO doctor stoppage round 1 in December 2020. That was Torres. On the other side, Angela Hill, 13-9 in the UFC, 13-9 overall, 8-9 in the UFC. She actually has a losing record. She had some fights in the UFC, and then she went back to Invicta for 4 fights and then came back to the UFC. So if you check her record, make sure you go pre-Invicta for that little gap because she has she's got a few UFC fights right there. She's got that kickboxing background. The last fight was that unanimous decision win over Ashley Yoder in March 2021. I think this is going to be really close, but I got to give the edge to Torres by decision again. I think she will win by decision again, but I think it's going to be close. I mean, I don't think it's far-fetched for me to think that Angela wins this one by decision either, but I'm going with Tasha.
So a little bit, neither girl has ever been knocked out before. So that could play a little role. Neither one's ever been knocked out. I see that staying exactly the same. I think Tasha has a serious speed advantage in this one, and she's going to use it. She normally looks to use her speed advantage. She's looked super sharp as of late. I think she basically darts in, out. I think we see her get a decision and get her hand raised. I just don't think Hill has enough to finish her, and I think that's what she needs to get the victory in this one. Torres, decision, just she's going to do the Ciryl Gane, in, out, in, out, in, out. Just use that speed advantage, and I think Angela Hill's going to gotta look to finish her. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to be a great fight for her. I don't have too much to say about either of these girls as far as their cards. I got to sell on both of them. Tasha's looking really good, but she always seems to lose to the top opponents. And Angela has a losing record in the UFC, and she's got a lot of fights, so it's just not a good sign. So sell on both of those ones. And we got another really exciting fight here. Super young guys. We got a bantamweight bout. We got Song Yandong, 16-5-1 with 1 no contest. He's only 23 years old. He's minus 105. Feels like he's been in the UFC for a super long time for a 23-year-old. Last fight was a loss to Kyler Phillips, but before that, he was 8 wins and 1 draw. So, impressive. Kenney, 16-3-1. He's 30 years old. He's the minus 115. Very slight favorite. His last fight was a loss to my man, Dominic Cruz. But before that, he was on a 3-fight win streak himself. How do you see this one playing out? It's a weird stylistic matchup to me, but I like it. Where do you see it going, Tom?
I'm the same. It's a tough call. It's another tough call. It's great matchups they got going on here. You got the Chinese Song Yandong on one side. He's 5'7" in height. Other side, the American Kenney, 5'6" in height, but Kenney holds a 1-inch reach advantage. Yandong, 16-5-1 overall, UFC 5-1-1. He's coming off that unanimous decision loss to Kyler Phillips in March 2021. On the other side, Kenney, 16-3-1 overall, 5-2. He's a second Dan black belt in judo and a black belt in BJJ. He's coming off that split decision loss to Dominic Cruz. My pick, I'm going with Kenney by decision.
Kenney decision. It's rare I pick so many decisions, but I think we got another one here too. Both guys are young. They're improving. I think Kenney has a ground advantage. But I think Song has a stand-up advantage, and all 3 rounds start on the feet. As McGregor says, it's all about being on the feet. If Song can take away from Cruz win, I think Song does the song and dance and gets his hand raised in the barn burner possible fight. You got to avoid Kenney's takedowns and stick and move. That's how I see this one going. I got a similar concept for a bunch of these fights. Now, as far as the card world goes, Song is young, just printed in 2020. Great speculation play. China's just starting to really get into the card market. They have the team all exclusives. I got to buy on Yandong. Just the sheer size of China. Buy on Yandong. They're getting involved in the hobby. So that's going to super boost prices alone. Casey not printed yet. I think we see him real soon. And I'll give my reevaluation when we see him get printed. Now we got one more fight. I'm going to be honest. I might be the most excited about this fight. The prelim main event. I'm a big fan of both of these guys. We got a lightweight Bobby King Green, 27, 11, and 1. He's plus 245. He's 34 years old, and his last fight was a loss, Thiago Moises. He's going up against Rafael Adaman Fazeev, 8-1, minus 310 favorite. He's 28 years old. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. I think that line's a little big, to be honest, but how do you see this one going?
Well, we got Bobby Green, the American, on one side, 5'8" in height. You got Rafael Fizier, the Kazakhstani, on the other side. Another one of these guys out of that Kazakhstani contingent, even though they're not all in that country, they got really bit of a snowball growing here of fighters coming out of Kazakhstan, and I've mentioned that before. Rafael, though,
I believe he coaches your girl in the off season at times. Valentina in Thailand. I believe he coaches striking to Valentina in Thailand.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all, and I think I recall the same thing. Rafael is fighting out of Phuket, Thailand. Sutyat in Thai, meaning awesome. Share a little bit of my Thai lingual expertise with y'all. Bobby Green on one side, 27, 11, and 1. Overall, UFC 8, 6, and 1. He's a blue belt in BJJ. He's coming off a decision loss to Thiago Moises in October 2020. Rafael, on the other side, 9 and 1 overall, UFC 3 and 1. He's got 3 wins in a row, the latest by KO, round 1 over Renato Moisano. He's a blue belt as well, Rafael. Where do I see this going? I'm going Rafael by strikes, round 2.
I think all the fight fans got to be excited for this fight. All the true fans, you got to be excited. This one looks good. Rafael looks incredible. Bobby Green is a true veteran of the sport, though. He's been around for a long time. I think this is going to be his toughest opponent by far for Rafael going up against Green. I think Green wrestles in this one, where we normally see him look great on his feet. This is a tough choice for me. I'm a big Green fan. I'm a big Rafael fan, but I think Rafael continues his winning ways. I get a second round TKO. If it goes to the third round, though, I think I'm leaning Green. He's always got room in that gas tank, and I may sprinkle a little bit on him on a live bet. So I'm taking Rafael round 2,
nice.
But if we get into the third, be careful. Green is exciting, and he never gasses. Never looks like he gasses. And he has very good wrestling. Now, Bobby has been around forever. He was printed in the ultra-rare 2013 Bloodlines. I go over that all the time. Just hard to get your hands on any of that sealed product. I think he's a great addition to a collection, but I'm not investing into him for the future. Rafael isn't printed yet, but I know that's going to change very soon. He's electric. And like I said, I believe he's a striking coach to some of the best in the sport. I'm a buyer when he gets printed. Guys, I want to appreciate you for joining us today.
Yeah, I just wanted to toss in real quick, maybe watching. If you didn't see Mark's video right before this one, so when this one goes up, the one right before it, Mark posted about how he wrote a letter to Topps about some expired gift cards that they had. Mark could tell you more here in a second. But it was awesome what he ended up getting. Check out that video, y'all. And it's a great piece of advice, and I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat as Mark was.
Yeah, so guys, I opened tons of older product, and I kept getting stuck with expired redemptions. And I did a little researching on it, and I couldn't get through to Topps. I was trying and trying. So finally, I wrote them a handwritten letter explaining the situation and filling out all the redemptions, and they hooked me up with an amazing gift bag of awesome fighters. Honestly, besides the one card, which was a booklet, way better fighters than I would have got with just getting the redemptions. I mean, a 1-on-1 they sent me. That's awesome. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's awesome. Props to Topps, man. Props to Topps.
Thanks to Topps. Guys, hit that thumbs up button if you're still watching, and we'll keep creating the content. Thanks for joining us.